This week the new season of low fuel motorsport started, and if you don't know what it is, just let me grab this rock you've been under so you can climb out. It's essentially a third-party environment for online sanctioned races, complete with a safety and driver rating system. I livestreamed some Assetto Corsa Competizione races on low fuel motorsport before, in which I made some questionable decisions. To get the Lexus again, I am not gonna be a happy man. No! Whoa! For the new season, they did something really interesting that piqued my interest. They swapped R-Factor 2 for Assetto Corsa simply because R-Factor 2 wasn't getting much participation, if any. Now, they did an alpha test phase for a while and we're currently in beta. And all the races I've seen looked very action-packed and really fun. So naturally, I had to dive in and try 3 races for myself. Let's go. Alright, first race. Low fuel motorsport, Assetto Corsa. We are driving the Clio on a fictional track, apparently. I didn't know that until I looked it up. And we qualified in 3rd. So let's see if we can keep that podium. Let's go. Quite an overcast day here in fictional Romania, where we get a good launch off the line to instantly get into P2. Let's just ease into this race and see if we can maybe challenge for the lead and talk a little bit about Assetto Corsa. Now, the first playable early access version of Assetto Corsa was released over 10 years ago. It's no secret that the modding scene not only kept this game alive for longer, Assetto Corsa actually gained popularity over the last years. For example, the car that we're racing and the track that we're driving are both really high quality and they're also free. Combine this with the power of Content Manager, Custom Shader Patch and Sol or its successor Pure. I'll leave all the relevant links down below in the description. And this 10-year-old game is just up there with all the modern sims, at least visually. As we see the leader go a little too deep into the last corner of the first lap, we are going to get a first glimpse at an overtaking opportunity. Andrew blocks the inside line for turn 1, forcing us the long way round, and easily blocks the inside for the second turn again. Not really an excessive overtake attempt, but just gradually building the pressure. Fast forward to later in the lap, Andrew has a bit of a gap but almost ends up in the gravel, going really deep into the corner. Means we are right on his tail again, looking for that overtake to claim first place. Now, if you lock your rears on this car, it can be very difficult to even make the corner or not spin, as I'll demonstrate right away. Luckily, I do make the corner and we're still right on his tail. Here Andrew will show exactly what I mean. Just a small lift or tap on the brakes for turn 1 and braking for turn 2 he locks his right rear tire just a little and needs to countersteer, causing the car to jump off the ideal racing line. But since this is a Clio Cup car, there's not enough horsepower to jump into the gap and all we can do is keep building pressure. I try to show my nose up the inside, but it actually only causes me to mess up my exit. Let's see if I learned anything. For the next attempt, I thought it would be a good idea to try a tighter line for turn 1, so turn 2 opens up and maybe we get an opportunity to stick our nose in at the exit. So far, so good, but the little lockup gets in the way and we actually lose a little bit of ground. A really nice and clean race so far, but since we'd like a win, I tried to set up my best opportunity yet by taking a wider line onto the straight combined with the power of slipstream. We creep closer, but we are not quite close enough to go for the inside, so I decide on the same strategy, taking a wider line into the corner, and with a little love tap we actually get side by side. Next corner being a right-hander is not working in our favor, and to be honest I was also a little careful not wanting to throw my P2 into the bin. As we skip to the last lap, you can definitely see Andrew in the lead taking all defensive measures to keep his win. We creep closer in the slipstream once again and decide it's time to try the same thing, go deep into the corner and try to maximize the exit speed. This time Andrew came prepared and simply closed the door and blocked me. Still very close behind, racing hard but fair. Maybe there's another opportunity to do the same thing in the next corner. I try to maximize the exit again, but running into the inside curb is far from ideal, so a P2 in the end it is. Andrew, thank you. Was good. I really enjoyed that. I think I gave him enough space, but that was weird. Well, we got a race on our hands. At least my left rear tire is warmed up now. On to the next. Another overcast day. This time in Germany we are racing the MX-5 Cup on Hockenheim, and as you saw, not getting the best of starts as we get tapped round in turn 1. The MX-5 was one of the cars the low fuel motorsport team Alpha tested at the end of last season. Not sure why every ranked racing game needs an MX-5 Cup. I personally would have loved to see a Caterham Academy Rookie Cup, but the MX-5 seems to get a lot of participation everywhere. Low fuel motorsport has been around for a while though. They just started season 13, there are 4 seasons every year, and is probably best known for the Assetto Corsa Competizione side of things, for which they introduced a web-based ranked system, very similar to iRacing and Gran Turismo for example, fully custom made and built from the ground up. They tried to extend their service to rFactor 2, but like I said before, the participation was never really there, and rFactor 2 launched their own ranked service anyway. This opened up the door for Assetto Corsa, and I do really think this could work, simply because the player base of Assetto Corsa is way larger, over 15 times the amount of peak players on a regular day. Now back to the racing. We are quickly coming up on this 3-car group. We get a nice exit out of turn 1, the oversteer moment not causing any trouble. Let's see if we can gain a position or 2. Inside line it is, briefly making it 3 wide, but we clip the apex nicely and get a position back. This fight is far from over though, as we make our way slipstreaming on this, well, not straight, they call it parabolica for a reason. Also not sure what the effect of the damage is, but it sounds like something is loose. Let's stick to the inside again, focus on making the apex, and yeah.
Nice
I maybe surprised the guy behind me a little bit, but I definitely think that was a bit unnecessary. Now we have Grigory behind, and I hope I haven't butchered your name all too much, but he for sure had a bit more pace than me. Obviously this was because of the damage and for sure not a skill issue at all. He did however test my defending skills out quite a bit as I stick to the inside line of the Zakskurve, knowing it's almost impossible to overtake on the outside there. I do make a bit of a mess of my upshift, no idea why I thought it would be a good idea to do that mid-corner, but Grigory with the better exit sticking to the outside, and with a tiny tap we do stay ahead. There was one more time I had to defend really hard to keep the position, sticking the car all the way to the inside line to avoid creating an easy overtaking opportunity. I get a small tap on the rear, and as we brake I torture my car even more by over-revving slightly but keeping the position. So I stay ahead for the rest of the race to finish in P8 with still a bit of elo gain. Now on to the main course of this video. This is the VRC Touring Car Challenge, and these cars are late 90s touring cars used in the British Touring Car Championship. If you're as old as me and owned a PlayStation 1 back in the day, this brings back some Toka 2 memories. We are driving the Peugeot 406 and it's one of the 5 cars you can pick for this series. All the cars are so detailed, sound amazing and are quite a handful as you'll see. It was quite surprising to see this is a rookie championship, but mostly this series gets my imagination flowing about the endless possibilities when the two powers, Assetto Corsa and low fuel motorsport, are combined. I haven't really checked whether all I think is possible, but just fantasize with me for a bit. Low fuel motorsport already introduced a big grid green hell cup on the Nordschleife obviously. But what if we add a day and night cycle full with weather effects and driver swaps? What about recreating historic F1 or sports car races with accurate tracks and billboards? There are probably a billion better ideas you can come up with, and in all honesty this would have been possible without low fuel motorsport. But to have this centralized system with over 136,000 users where all you have to do is click to download the mods, register for the championship you're interested in and have a ranked race. Combine this with the unlimited depth of Assetto Corsa and it's mind-blowing really. Now back to the race. We are currently in P7 but looking strong coming up to the line. Nico in front going a bit wide onto the straight and I feel like there's an opportunity. We show our nose on the inside and I kind of feel he's letting me have the corner, but we'll definitely take that. As the car in front also decides to go through the gravel means we're up to P6. Later that same lap we are coming up to the line again and there's another car coming out of the gravel, so another easy position to gain. But as you'll see, it's gonna kick off for us very soon. This slide into Paddock Hill Bend is a sign of things to come, and as we all know, braking on the grass isn't really the way to go, so we slide into Druids, absolutely ruining the tires, but somehow we don't lose a position. You'd definitely think I would have learned by now, but this moment of oversteer proves otherwise. This time we do end up in the grass and lose 4 positions. Like I said before, the cars are quite tricky to drive. You can use the rear to rotate the car, but once you go a little bit over the edge, catching the snap of oversteer usually means you're off. We instantly get 1 place back as the car in front demonstrates my point exactly. And we do finish it off by obviously more sliding. I was using the default setup with just some minor adjustments to get the tire pressures in the right window. I have no idea whether that's a good approach to start with, so if there are any Assetto Corsa gods watching this video, I'd love some advice. Later in the race it looks like I'm still not completely used to a right-hand drive car because, well, I brake on the grass again. We lose the position for now but get it back in the end, so it's all good. All in all, I really hope after watching this video you are just as excited as me to give the Assetto Corsa Beta on low fuel motorsport a try. The more people give it a go, the higher the chance for a future success, and it would be a shame if this dies just like R52 did. I will definitely be back for more, so if you enjoyed this and made it this far in the video, please consider subscribing. I hope you have a wonderful day and I'll see you in the next. Wow, that was intense.